If you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? Where is this nation going? Where are we going with all these UFO abduction experiences? I'll tell you, we are headed toward total mind control.
So it's like, to me, a continuous revelation about the existence of these advanced beings in the center of the galaxy. But I think that it is all coming together around 2012. And part of the reason I say that is that Quetzalcoatl is the being who is identified by the Mayans as their savior figure, who will be returning from the center of the galaxy in 2012. Because the winged serpents are not reptilian beings. They are the highest order of angels. Where do they live? Well, according to Judeo-Christian tradition, they dwell at God's throne. Where is God's throne? Well, according to the Mormon tradition, according to the Mayan tradition, the center of the Milky Way galaxy. The feathered serpent, the seraph, and Quetzalcoatl, the winged serpent of the Mayan tradition, are the same group of beings. And they're not reptilian. They appear that way by definition of the term seraph, but when they're portrayed in Judeo-Christian art, they're portrayed as humanoids. They're bird people. They have human faces, 6 wings, and vortex-shaped bodies.
Get these stories of the light beings, or the 1/3 was it of the angels that were fallen, etc. These were the line of the order of the seraphim, if you will, and even entailed. If you look at a list of that, you have. I had a list here before, but I can't find it right now. But you have Lucifer, you have some of these other angels, if you will, incorporated into this group. So, but what we're hearing from the from the church, if you will, in that sense, in both modern days and in the past, is that this is the wicked branch. This is the one we're supposed to stay away from.
I'm going to tell you what I've been told.
Okay.
For the most part, most of the galaxy is pretty civilized. Okay?
Right.
It has really matured. It's come into its own. But there are some areas, mostly on the outskirts, where it's still pretty considered jungle. We have some really bad elements here. And they're not just here, but they're in this kind of sector, this part of our galaxy. Some are in our solar system, obviously, and some are directly underneath us. But some are also inhabiting some of the other planets and moons in our solar system. Basically, this was like a free zone. This was an area where nobody paid attention to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of that this rogue element was drawn here, because they felt like they could do whatever the hell they wanted to do.
Right.
Okay, so in essence, you can say this was like a lure to them. Here's an area nobody gives a shit about. That's where we go. That's where we hide. Like pirates would do.
Right.
Okay? So they come here in mass, in numbers, not only physically but dimensionally. The dimensional part, doors were opened for them so that they could actually come in. And, you know, basically what you have now is you have this cesspool of just renegades who, for the most part, have all their own agendas. They may have different agendas, but none of those agendas are really about the betterment and the welfare of the natives. Okay?
Right.
It's all about what can we get for ourselves.
see the human beings who are being enslaved on this planet and forced into a paradigm of a super oligarchy.
This is the level of the transformation. This is the level of the revolution, if you want to call it that. It's not guns, it's consciousness.
What a mind child. So you're here to save the world. What do you say to something like that?
In order to walk among us, they disguise their appearance by cloning human flesh under their own reptilian skin. I thought everyone here was up to speed. The visitors didn't just get here.
Humanity has mirrored this as well, in our history.
Mm-hmm.
So now what you have is the doors are closing behind this group. I know there are some basically saying it's over, and that is absolutely so far from the truth. And I'll give you an analogy of why that's so far from the truth.
Okay.
Now it's clear that they're backing up, and they're beginning to know that they're cornered. Okay. But it isn't over because we're between them and the good guys.
Right.
And for the most part, humanity is completely unaware of what's really going on around themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so humanity's in a very precarious position. But I'll just give you this analogy. You even hear it with some of these speakers saying, a brand new financial system's coming in, and it's going to be miraculous, it's going to be absolutely wonderful, it's going to replace the old system. Well, the old system was based on a fiat currency, and they only last about 80 years. So it's coming to an end, okay?
Right.
It has reached its pinnacle of putting everybody in debt. So what we have now is we have a new financial system coming in. This is an Earth financial system. However, it is being managed by other personages who are not solely human.
Right.
And what you basically have is at this point, there were 4 countries that were not part of the Rothschild banking system. They were North Korea, Cuba, Libya, and Iran. Well, we know Libya is no longer not a part of that.
Right.
They're no longer free. They're now part of the Rothschild banking system.
Right.
The next will be Iran. And we're already hearing the rumblings about going to war with Iran and making them the bad guy. Okay? As far as North Korea and Cuba, I don't think anybody gives a shit about those 2 countries.
Right.
Okay? So, this should show everyone that what they're hearing, that it's over, it's time to relax, kick up your heels, open a 6-pack, it's way premature. Way premature.
We should be liberated. The people on Earth who aren't in cahoots with the evil extraterrestrials are going to be liberated at some point in the future.
Yes, that is true. It is definitely happening. It wasn't until shortly after they really started paying attention here that they really began to realize, more about us and who we were and our potential as a humanity as well. Those were afterthoughts in the beginning.
I see.
Now they're coming more and more to the forefront, and we as a humanity are being considered a critical part in this, which is why, we've had, as you so well put, that friendly ETs have been coming down here and blending with humanity and doing the best that they can to help raise consciousness.
That's a tough job.
Oh, it's not a job I want.
if you are telepathic or empathic or both, coming to a world like this where you could literally hear everybody's thoughts and feel their feelings, that would really suck. I mean, it would just be a super bummer to come down here and have to wallow in our problems. You know, I mean, even if, in other words, even if you could shield yourself to some degree, the whole point is coming down here trying to help, communicate, whatever. But man, you have to. It's like if you want to put on a hazmat suit to come down here and deal with some of our stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to sift through the swamp.
Yep.
You know, but on a whole, though, Bob, and I think this is important. Most people on this planet are really pretty decent.
I agree.
Really are. They are caring. They're loving. They enjoy a good laugh, and they want to protect and raise their children and their families.
Right.
You know, there is, however, that element, that paranoia that the media puts out, that governments constantly project, that does wear on everyone.
Right.
You know, unless you're completely oblivious to it, and unfortunately, there are just few of those. And you know, and that's the issue. And you know, the good guys, they know that.
Right.
They really do. They know that. You know, they've been watching our television, listening to our radio programs out there. You know, they know it's upside down here. They really do. And they know who's behind it.
Right.
Because they've seen this shit before in other worlds.
Right.
So they're no strangers to it. And my understanding is, if you look at some of the Tausenians, the Proteons, you know, they have just recently, what I would consider recently, maybe the last 100 to 200 years, you know, liberated themselves and their people with the help of other benevolent races. So they have a very fresh perspective, you know, where humanity's going to make that choice.
Like a diamond in